Howdy, everyone. Welcome back to our podcast. Today, we are talking new home construction. We are talking builders, and we have Ed Berlanga and Ken Gezella from Texas Homes. Ed, Ken, thank you for joining us. Would you all mind introducing yourselves?
Sure. Yeah, I'm Ed Berlanga. I'm the owner, CEO of Texas Homes. Been in this industry for about 37 years. So built over about 7,000 houses, developed about 10,000 lots. So I still think I'm young, but I think I'm getting old.
It's all a mindset.
It's all in mindset.
But you've also helped represent the Builders Association before.
Yes, sir.
Correct?
Yeah,
Right? Like you've worked through that.
I was president of the Builders Association in 2021. Okay. And now I work more on the tab level at the state level, and I'm a delegate in Washington, D.C. with NHB.
Excellent. So tons of knowledge there.
I hope so. I mean, every now and then I get hit in the head and I remember a few things. So, yeah.
I'm guessing that's where Ken comes in, coming into the resource. Ken, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, been in the industry for a long time, much like Ed. I've been in it for over 35 years. Worked for a myriad of different companies all throughout the state of Texas. This is actually my first week with Texas Homes.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah. Super excited to be here.
Is this other duties as a sign? That can be.
No, I just thought we'd hang out together.
Yeah. So I think before we get into kind of the idea of new home construction, how does new home construction fit into the ecosystem, right? I mean, is it a huge part of the buying process? What percentage of home buyers go new home versus go to something already pre-built? How would you?
Well, I think it shifts.
Okay.
I mean, it's right now, the cost of a new home is high. It's keeping some buyers out of the market because of that. But the reality of it is that the younger folks who should be buying homes, the average age has jumped, like I was told recently, from 33 to 38. And I bought my first house when I was 19. So that's a generational shift where if folks go, I don't want the responsibility. I'll just rent, and it's too expensive. And I have my thoughts on that. We could talk for the next hour about that.
Yes.
But it's our job to educate and convince folks that it's always better to buy a home than to rent.
What does the buyer look like? You mentioned like the age, but is the buyer someone who is looking for something more affordable? Is it looking for someone who is more custom? Is it someone, I even heard someone say, I just don't want another house that someone else has lived in, that's a little odd for me. I was like,
that's my wife.
Okay. All right. So tell me more about the buyer.
Yeah. Well, I mean, who do you think the buyer is today, Ken?
But it depends on the area of town and the community and obviously the price point. There are significant builder presence out there that are trying to get into the very affordable markets. Mm-hmm. At Texas Homes, we've got a little bit of everything, right? We've got some affordable type product, but we're mainly into the first time move up, garden home, kind of semi luxury type of move up. And to go after looking at the pre-owns versus the new construction, I always tell my wife as well. It's like, well, do you want to buy a home with someone else's toenails in the carpet? Because that's what you're going to get with a.
I feel like you took it to another level with that. I'm going to go. I have tile floor, so I think I might be okay.
My wife, every time, she never gets a used car.
Okay.
She always buy her a new car, and
there's a depreciation right after you drive off the.
Well, her deal is I don't want to sit where somebody else's butt's been. Okay. So I go, I get it, honey. I mean, I totally understand where you're coming from, and so it's like. Your butt will be the first butt that touches that seat, and she's happy.
Okay. So there's pros and cons.
There's pros and cons.
Right. If someone's geared towards new construction, they want to be able, especially if we're going to build them a home from the ground up, they want to be able to, especially with us, we're able to customize our floor plans, right? So we got the customization component. We've got the personalization component. They can pick their cabinet color, flooring color, and not have to go in there and remodel afterwards. There are benefits for the pre-owned market at the same time. So it's just like areas. And if you want an area with majestic oak trees, probably not going to get a whole lot of that in new construction.
Yeah, I think because if I think custom home, well, then that means it's way more luxurious, and that means it's way out of my price point. But that doesn't necessarily mean maybe we should say new build, which is it's just new, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you shouldn't go and approach a builder because it could be built in the price points, which brings me to my next question is what is being built? I don't know if it is more affordable. Is it more luxury? Somebody asked me the other day, is like, tiny homes, aren't they selling like hotcakes? And I was like, I don't know. Like, what is being built?
Well, I mean, the same markets are being built everywhere. You know, your public builders tend to go, you know, they move with the market. So
Okay.
like, you know, they may try to become more cost effective, and cost effective may be cost cutting, you know, allowing no changes. You know, you can have the white walls or the other white walls. I mean, there's no allowance for changes. I don't fault I represent all the builders, so I don't fault anybody's plan. But at the same time, you know, if all you think of is cost, I mean, typically you're going to go maybe hire a cheaper trade or use a different product.
Do you think that buyers are focused more on value, efficiency, and long-term investment as they approach this? Or is it simply, I just need a roof over my head?
I don't. The first one you threw out, I don't think they're focused on
The value.
the value. I mean, I think, you know, we live in a society now where people just throw things away. You know, you purchase things, I'm done with it. You throw it away and I'll get something new. I mean, so you can't treat a home that way. I mean, a home is somewhere where you're going to, you know, we have all the buzzwords where you make your memories and do all those things. But you really need to look at it and go, it's an investment, and there's a return on that investment. You know, real estate's always been a good investment. Timing is important, but it's also about, you know, it's something that appreciates, and you're never going to appreciate renting. I mean, you're paying somebody else's mortgage, and that's where your money goes. So, I mean, it's really common sense, but it's trying to find product that fits people's needs, and I don't always think it's about price. You know, it's not well, it's all I can afford, so I'm going to buy the thing I can afford, and that gets drilled into people's heads. But when they start to understand, you know, we do a lot of educating on financing and things like that. And when you can sit down and really educate a young person who's never bought a home before, then they're like, okay, this sort of makes sense. You know, it just takes time. You have to be a lot patient on your sales process than just to go, well, market's great, come on in, interest rates are low, you can afford it, buy. You know, we're not in that market right now.
What does affordability look like for builders? How is that affecting y'all? Everyone's talking about affordability, right? Like, can we afford this house? What is affordable housing? What does that look like for y'all? Is that a different floor plan, different square footage, smaller lots?
Well, I would say a little bit of everything. I mean, it's you know, lots are always controlled by you know, your local government. You know, and you know, I work at the tab level, at the state level, and we, you know, different counties in the state of Texas will have different rules dealing with your local city council on how small they'll let your lots be made. You know, in a builder's world, land doesn't change. You know, this many acres. If you can make smaller lots, you can build a smaller house, which will cost less. Hence, it's more affordable. Does it make it more desirable? Not necessarily.
Because it still has to be desirable. It has to be marketable, and people have to want to buy the product.
Correct. Yeah. So, you know, it's the old adage of what drive till you qualify. You know, and you get further and further out. Land is more affordable. Build smaller product. But when you get out in the country, who wants to live on a small house? You know, that's where I want my acreage. So there's a kind of a contradiction and confluence when you look at those things about what it really means. So, yeah, I mean, it's, I always joke, if I knew everything, I'd be sitting on a beach with an umbrella, you know, and we'd have it all figured out. But the market changes, and we have to adapt and change with it.
If ChatGPT would give me lotto numbers, I would be probably on that same beach with you.
Exactly.
Yeah. So here's the question I was going to ask is, do we change our square footage in order to make things more affordable? So for a while, I think it was 2020. I don't remember the year, but everyone was talking about McMansions. Houses were getting bigger. There was bonus rooms. There was TV rooms. Is that still happening? Do people want to maximize, like, you know what? The further, the higher the number is on that fourth digit from 1,000 square feet, 2,000 square feet, 3,000, 5,000. I mean, is that still a thing? Or are people like, you know what? 2,000 is more than enough space and I can make it work?
I think it's hard to paint the entire market with a broad brush.
Okay.
Right. So it's going to be, I have what I call these 7 target consumer groups, and they go everywhere from like the very entry level target consumers, like first time starter home. So it's probably going to be somewhere in the 1,100 to 1,300, 1,400 square feet.
Okay.
It's going to be
Three bedrooms,
three bedrooms. So you've got that consumer group. You've got the folks with middle school age children, high school age children. They need a little bit bigger of a home, so they're going to go from 17, 1,800 square feet to 3,000, 3,500, 4,000. There's 5,000 square foot homes. Then you're going to have the retirees, and they're going to be moving down. They may not move all the way down, and it's a very different product, right? It could be a 1,700 square foot home for an empty nester or a retiree. The feature level in the home is going to be vastly different from that starter home.
Now, I'm going to switch it up a little bit and talk about energy efficiency. Is that something that is just built in now? I mean, I feel like I don't know if it's a part of the code actually in order to make houses more energy efficient, but do people ask for more energy efficiency homes? Are they asking for panels on the roof? Where does that request look like?
Sometimes these things don't go hand in hand, affordability with energy code. But the houses we build today are, I always joke, they're so energy efficient. If just with the things, just standard code and things that are raised, they're so energy efficient compared to old homes. Then you go, well, I have a high utility bill. Well, that has nothing to do with how efficient the home is. It's energy rates. So let's not confuse the two. If they raise the energy rate, it doesn't matter how efficient you make your home, it's still going to cost more to heat and cool it.
Yes, I agree. But the house that has greater insulation, the windows are much more built or whatever, radiant barrier stuff. I mean, I'm going to think about my energy bill. I mean, an energy bill for a 5,000 square foot home sounds atrocious to cool that house down. So I really want to make sure I'm not buying something built in 1980 that has no efficiency versus now.
Absolutely.
But do buyers come in with that, or it just so happens that's what y'all are building now is energy efficient homes?
I think it's more of what we're building now. Mm-hmm. We can just show them, that house that was built in the 1980s, 1990s or before is less energy efficient than what we're producing today. We show them the R values, we show them the insulation, we show them radiant barrier, all the things you remember.
I was trying to remember what that was.
It is radiant barrier and the performance testing.
What is the radiant barrier for my own knowledge?
It's like the roof decking.
It's the silver.
Oh, okay.
It reflects the UV and
deflects the UV rays.
It really does keep your attic light cool. It takes education too, right? Because a lot of buyers, whether they've owned homes before or not, they really don't know. And if we explain it to them in the total cost of ownership is more than just your monthly payment. It's
correct. Yes,
exactly.
It's
at Texas
efficiencies,
builders that do the higher energy efficiency items as well. If we can show them the real savings, the HERS scores, right? If we can get a HERS score around 60 or below versus the older homes are at 130.
Which a HERS score is how efficient the home is,
yes,
right?
It's like golf. The lower, the better.
The lower, the better.
Right. So a home that was built 20 years ago probably has a HERS score of a 130.
Okay.
Between 120 and 130. Today's construction, HERS scores are going to be probably 60 or below.
And that's probably things that aren't necessarily aesthetic. It's it's
not the
stuff that we can't see, right? It's the things in the walls, the thresholds, making sure insulations.
It's better construction techniques. I mean, it's the evolution of construction to use materials that are even more cost effective, but do return, something on your investment. And I just recently was with a young couple, and they live in the Alta Vista area, so they like to be near downtown. It's kind of cool. It's hip. It's vibe.
Of course.
And then they told me their utility bills, and I went, "Yikes!" I said, "So while you think you're getting a good deal here, you're paying for it here." And I said, "Add that, and I can build you a brand new house."
And that's where I was going to earlier. Is like you may think, oh, you know what, I'm better off. Like new is less approachable, but it might be more approachable because of the energy efficiency. Buying that other house that isn't.
Add it all in. Yeah, add it all together for sure.
Because it's not just the monthly mortgage payment. There are so many more things that go along with it.
Yeah, and it's a total cost of ownership. If my wife walks in to a sales office, she wants to look at the level 97 granite. However, when we're in the home and that first utility bill comes, she'd like to see the electric bill kind of low too.
Yeah.
So she understands. And it's just the education component. Right.
And I think also, I just had to put in a new air conditioner. That's not fun at all. It's a huge expense. And You divide that up.
I could sell you a Texas home with a brand new air conditioner already.
I just bought an air conditioner.
It'll be fine. Don't worry, we can take care of that. No, I hear what you're saying, and I mean it's like, I live in a house. It's on an older street that I knocked down the house, built a new house, and I have solar all over my house. But quite frankly, the only reason I got solar was because we had a hailstorm. So they gave me a hail check, and the government was giving a tax rebate. And when I factored it all in, I go, this is very affordable, and my return on my investment was 5 years and it'd be paid off. I thought I could live with that. Now I have really low utility bills. But most people don't think of that on the front end.
This isn't on the schedule line. Is solar the future? I'll ask it that way.
Well, in states where they have sun, maybe.
I mean, we have sun. I mean, getting solar, I think, is often... Are buyers coming in and saying, I want solar on this house? Is it something that somebody who's in a home generally does after?
Yes.
Right. Like I've had this house and now I'm considering
it's an aftermarket product.
Okay.
I mean, it's and solar companies, I mean, hate to say it, they come, they go, and they were really popular.
Complicated investment for the home.
Well, they were more popular when the government was giving a 30% energy tax credit, and they took that away. It's like, well, I just lost 30%. So I mean, it's the government does play a big role in how they guide how things should happen.
So it's still new technology, right? And so so the folks doing it are the early adopters right now. But I think 10, 15, 20 years from now, it's going to be a much better situation because they're going to be much more efficient and a lot less costly. And that's where we need to go.
And I think the market is obviously based on the way people respond. And after Snowvid, everyone got a generator and panels. Like they were just everywhere. I was like, oh, okay, well, maybe I need to go get a generator and panels.
It helped Generac sales, I'll tell you.
I'm sure it did. So, but I guess that it's very much market driven and whatever is going on. So I would think that solar panels and a generator are considered luxury. What have y'all, in your experience, learned that what used to be luxury is now just, it better be a part of the home that, we're building with?
Well, I'm kind of old. So, I mean, I can remember.
This is going to be an interesting answer.
Yeah, I can remember when, it's like, hey, your countertops at your house were what do they call it? Formica countertops. If you wanted to put in Formica countertops today, you can't find them. Okay, so
does that make them higher end now?
Maybe so. At some point, it all comes back around. Right?
It does. And what's really fascinating is that take granite, for instance, or Cassie stone, or all these different names,
yes,
synthetic products. But granite used to be what you consider a very high-end product. And if you bought it, boy, you have granite countertops. Wow, granite's relatively standard now. You go to apartments, and the only difference is the CMs. Is it this thick or this thick or this thick? You get an apartment that has granite in it. And like, if you had told me I was going to get granite in an apartment in the 1980s, I would have laughed. Like, really? But now it's like, I mean, nearly every one of our houses is granite in.
Luxury vinyl plank would be another one too, right? Because that's a relatively newish product, and it's different from wood, but it has become very popular because it comes in great styles. It's durable. It's not terribly expensive. You can get different grades. Some of it is like 100% water, not just resistant, but waterproof. If you install it correctly, it's a great product. And that's becoming a very popular item in our homes and other builders as well.
When I think of, this would have been luxury, is luxury still considered a bonus room, a TV room, walk-in pantries, or is all that stuff now just part of a normal, this is what we need?
Yes and no. I mean, it's square footage, right? I mean, if you're building
the price point of the home.
Well, if you're building a 1,400 square foot home, there's only so many things you can, these value adds you can create. I mean, you're not going to have a media room, but that just makes the house bigger and go, hey, what can I do with that room? Well, we can turn it into a media room. And it's like, oh, okay, well, then I want it, so.
What are the luxury add-ons that people want?
Double stacked cabinets, high-end finishes.
What are high-end finishes?
It's going to be
double stacked cabinets.
Quartz countertops, the really nice double stacked cabinets with the glass up above and the lights in it. The really nice backsplashes, tile work that goes behind there, mud set showers. So there is what you're seeing in the marketplace right now. The folks who know and know what they want, that's where they're gravitating to.
Okay. I know I went to the Parade of Homes and I saw, pet washing rooms, and I was just like,
Oh yeah.
that. Okay. We're going to move on to the next question, which is multi-generational housing. Is that still something that is desirable and people are looking for? For a while there, that's all we heard about, multi-generational housing.
I still think it's there. I mean, Ken and I ran into one of our new customers in their, our design studio yesterday. And it was like, and I'm, just trying to get the lay of the land, introducing ourselves to this buyer. And then we find out mom's paying for half the house, and mom wants a walk-in shower, and mom's going to get what mom wants. But yes, there's multi-gen is still there. People that are buying homes, are having an older parent move in. We build on our acreage product. We build a nice house, and we built casitas.
That's what I was going to ask. Is multi-generational mean it's an extra bedroom with a full bath, or is it actually it's a same house, but there's a little kitchenette, or is it a casita?
It's a generic term.
Okay.
When people say multi-gen, it means about 5 different things.
Because it could just mean it's one house, but there's multiple generations living in it.
Exactly. I built the house and family, and I go, I don't know how many generations live in this house. I mean, it's because they have a lot of cars.
Yeah. So, but then the casita, is that something that people are asking for?
Yeah, we've built quite a few of them.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, thinking of going backwards, I have a friend I grew up with, and he's had some issues, and his sister called me, and they live in Stone Oak in a 30-year-old home, and they have a big 2-car garage, and they go, can you turn that into a casita so my brother can come live with us? So, I mean, it has a lot of iterations to it, but the casitas are cool because if you think about them, it's like, hey, we're building that for mom, so mom can age gracefully and she can still be with us. And then, mom moves on, and then it's like, my college kid can't afford a house, he's moving back. And so they serve a lot of purposes.
The other one is you move into the casita and then you rent the house.
In California, that's what they do.
Yeah. And it's a lot easier to do downtown or in like older neighborhoods where there's more flexibility, those detached garage.
Right.
It's interesting. Do you see a lot of that in new home construction though?
No, there's not a lot of builders doing it because it's you think, oh, it's just a little casita.
I'm sure it's not.
It's just $50,000. It's like, no, it's more like 150.
Yeah.
And you think about that, and that's like, well, that's a starter home, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so yeah. I mean, it's price point, and to your question earlier, it's like, well, what do people want in it? I worked out in California for years, and the casitas there were like, to me, mini. First time I saw one, I go, this is like a mini mansion. This is so cool.
Yeah.
But what we try to build is something that people can live in, feel comfortable with, and won't break the bank. But boy, people knock themselves out sometimes and turn them into workout rooms and all sorts of stuff. It's just a detached structure.
Yeah.
You can do anything you want with it.
What is a way, there's so many levers that are going on here, right? When we talk about new home construction, whether it's style, add-ons, floor plan, financing, how are y'all using technology in this new world?
Well, I love technology. I always try to stay ahead of the curve on that. But we work with the group Chorus, and we have one of their reps meet with every one of our customers to allow them just whatever customization they want. Especially younger buyers. They're tech savvy, and they want. And I remember it used to be like, hey, you're running Cat 5 wire everywhere, and that was like the cool thing. It's like now everything's wireless. So what you really try to do is put things in your house that are relatively, simplicity in hey, controls your lights, controls your garage doors, cameras. Everybody's into security and cameras. Come home and driving home, they can see if anything's going on. Alarms. But it's all integrated. That's the key thing now. I think where everything goes is integration. It's not. You can go to Best Buy and get cool stuff for relatively affordable.
How do you think, as we wrap up here, for our members who are listening, that how do we want them to know to work with the builder? What do we want to tell them is on how to build a relationship with builders?
Well, I mean, I know in our company, we have over 85% realtor participation. So we love our realtors and we work with them. But part of it is just, once again, it's educating the realtors you have to adapt to the times. I've met great salespeople in my life, great realtors who all of a sudden they hit a wall because it's the old, this is how I've always done it. And if you're not adapting and you're not changing, you're dying. I mean, that's the world we live in. Everything changes so rapidly. Even old dogs like us have to figure it out. And and I'm a dog. I can learn a new trick. Just teach me it. And I like it. It's kind of keeps you jazzed and it keeps you young and it keeps you fresh. When you sit there and go, well, it's how I've always done it. That doesn't work anymore. And so I think all realtors need to adapt and they need to understand how things are. But it's pretty funny. I had a realtor send me an email one time and I go, you didn't write that. And she just started laughing. And I said, ChatGPT wrote that. And she goes, well, how did you know? And I go, because every email you sent me in the past had misspellings. This was perfect. and she just started laughing, and she was pretty funny, so.
I mean, you can't, why not? If it's a tool, like if you have a hammer to hit a nail, but you want to use, a nail gun. Why not? Yeah. So
on the realtor component, I really think for me, I've always viewed it as it's a partnership. And I want to reach out to the realtor community. I'm married to a real estate agent. She's been an agent for over 30 years. So that's a great thing because it's like I go home at night. It's like, what are you going to do for the real estate community? And, so if I were going to say one thing for the real estate community to know about Texas Homes and about the better builders in general in the San Antonio market, we want it to be a partnership. Our client is your client is our client. We want the same thing. We want to get the folks into the home of their dreams and we want them to be happy. And I understand that when that happens from a builder side, that I want that agent to get that listing 5 or 6 or 7 or 9 years from now because they had such a great experience with Texas Homes.
What does that partnership look like? Is it I'm the realtor? Am I coming in and I'm in the design studio helping them pick? Is it me going through the contract? Like what does that relationship look like?
I think it's various. I mean, there's some realtors that I think are very good at helping their client because it might be the first time buyer, might haven't bought a home in a long time, so they need that assistance. I've seen other realtors who want to control the situation, and I personally think they're overstepping. I mean, they're not going to live in that house, and they are not listening to their client's needs. They're just like, hey, I'm experienced. You should listen to me. I'm the expert, and I'm not saying they aren't. I'm just saying, when you adapt with the times, you got to listen to understand. You can't listen to answer the question. And so, that's a challenge. I mean, and realtors I talk to, I go, hey, let's collaborate. Let's work together. We'll take care of your client. If we're not doing a good job, let us know. If we do anything that you think maybe isn't correct, and we'll work together in partnership to get them to the ultimate, closing on the house and being happy.
Yeah, it should be a great relationship, right? The sharing of knowledge, the answering of questions together. It should be a win-win all around for everybody. And I would add to that by just saying I would help the newer agents, the experienced agents. I already believe they know this, but understand the customer's mission. What is the customer's mission? It isn't I need to get $100,000 off. That's not their mission. Their mission is to improve their life. And I think together, and it's a bit towards a relationship and partnership, together with the real estate partner, the new home partner, together, let's make that dream a reality. Let's improve that customer's life. Because there's some reason, I call it find their itch and make them scratch. There's a reason they're looking.
Yeah.
Right. Sometimes they're moving in from out of town and that's just a forced component of the circumstance they're in. But sometimes they're just in the wrong home or in the wrong apartment complex and it's not safe for their family. Right. And so I think together we can really make a difference and impact people's lives positively here in San Antonio.
Excellent. Well, I appreciate you both being here today. We look forward to a continuing working relationship with y'all. And thank you very much. Thank you, everyone, for watching.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gilbert.